Hello and welcome back to Hearts Standard. My name is Craig Cairns, and today we're going to have, since we're coming towards the end of the season, the business end, if you like, we are going to be looking ahead to next season and seeing which European places are on offer. We did that earlier in the season. We're going to do a wee bit of a refresher on that and look at a few other aspects of the title race. To do that, I have Gavin Noon, better known as Scotland's coefficient. I saw your scottishfootball.info on your username there, and I got confused between the two. Scotland's coefficient. How are you doing, Gavin? Thanks for coming on.
I'm very good, Craig. Thanks for having me on. As soon as you said refresher, it brought me back to my uni days 15, 20 years ago. And I would be like, oh, I didn't do any of this studying. I don't know any of this stuff. So refresher will come in handy.
You're the teacher, though. You know all this off the top of your head. So
roles reverse now, aye.
exactly. So, as I said, I kind of had you on a few months ago. Can't remember exactly when it was. It was fairly early in the season, and we were talking about what kind of European places are up for grabs next season and the upcoming cliff edge. We will go over all that kind of stuff again. But what have you made of the title race this season? Did you see Hearts still being top at this point when we last spoke?
It's been a brilliant season, hasn't it? It's been the best since the late 90s, so it's been really good. I was actually on a Celtic podcast at the start of the season, so the day the transfer window closed, and I had predicted Hearts to finish second, and then I said both Rangers and Celtic are in such disarray, toss a coin to see who's first and who's third. And the host, one of my friends on that, was kind of like, all right, kind of like still nobody really took Hearts seriously, but all the research I had done on Tony Bloom, people online that speak about him, that know him and how intelligent he is and how all his analytics company has worked over the years, all the evidence to me said that Hearts would be in it all the way. I guess, though, that was probably a prediction more in hope than anything else, because Celtic have won every title, 14 of the last 15, whatever it is. It's a bit of something to refresh the league, get a bit more interest, and ultimately try and get the broadcasters more interested. So if there's a three-way title race this year, and if it happens again next year or the year after, then when the SPFL come to renegotiate the deal for 2029, when they all expire, they should be in a really good negotiating position because they have a much more competitive league than the last time they went out.
Yeah, and something that's related to that, something you wrote in one of your recent articles on your Substack, you said that when Bloom invested, people were quick to write it all off, saying things like a £10 million investment's not going to, it's just drop in the ocean to the budgets of the others. It's not going to sustain a long-term challenge or anything like that. Now, the mantra for a lot of people is that Hearts are only top because of Rangers and Celtics deficiencies and that this is only going to be a one-off. But that's another thing that you've been arguing against, that you don't think this is going to be a one-off. What's your thinking there?
Yeah, exactly. So back then it was Bloom was saying he wanted to be a disruptor and we're looking to finish second in the first season. And everyone went with a £10 million investment. What are you going to do with that? Celtic have just spent 11 million on Arnott Engels. And that was a really narrow focus because it wasn't the £10 million that was going to change stuff. It was the whole recruitment model based on bringing in players for no or little fees to then selling them on. And the way it worked in Belgium was they started exactly as they have with Hearts. There was free transfers or very low fees of unknown players, came in and did well. And then 1 to 2 seasons later, they started selling those players for 1 or 2 million. But from there, the model grows, and then it's you're now buying players for 2, 3, 4 million. And then 2 or 3 years down the line, Union Saint-Gilloise were selling players for 20 million within 5 years, something they'd never done before. So when talking about 10 million as the cost to buy into Hearts last year, that wasn't the story. And same again this time. So it's now, well, it's not the 10 million. It's just Hearts are only top because Rangers and Celtic are poor. Now, that is true to an extent. Rangers and Celtic are poor. It's Rangers' worst start to a season in 40 years. Celtic have lost more matches. If they win the title, it'll be the most defeats suffered by a champion for decades. So they are both poor, but it doesn't mean that it's a one-season wonder for Hearts. So the way I see it is this isn't a one-off opportunity for Hearts to win the league, but it's a one-off opportunity to win it with a low points total. So potentially like 77, 78, 79 points, less than 80 points, might win the league. Now, I think that is a one-off chance for Hearts and for Rangers and for Celtic. So I don't think any of them will win the league in subsequent seasons with such a low points total. So in coming seasons, I would expect Hearts to get better through the recruitment model that Bloom's perfected and had working at other clubs, and they will get more points than they will get this season. I would be pretty sure of that. What I don't know is, will that tally be enough to win the league next year or 2 years' time or 3 years' time? So kind of like Rangers under Van Bronckhorst, they got 92 points and were nowhere near winning the league. I think Ange was getting like 99 points, and then Van Bronckhorst got sacked a few months later with 92 points. So similar to that, I think there will be a season where Hearts get, 86, 87 points, which would have easily won the league this season, and in that season. So, yeah, both aspects are true. Hearts are top because